What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. The final day of the Arsenal US tour. Sad that it's coming to an end, really. It's been a fantastic trip, and it's match day as well, people. A big way to end this US tour. Arsenal against Chelsea, live this evening, 8 p.m. US time, around 1 o'clock in the morning, I believe, UK time. Big game. As I said before, no such thing as a friendly when it comes to Arsenal and Chelsea, so should be a good game, good atmosphere. Looking forward to it. There'll be loads of content today. As I said before, follow me on socials, people, at Curtis Shaw 9, and obviously keep it locked here, Curtis Shaw TV, for all your daily updates, people. So looking forward to that one. Let's get into the transfer news now. The story coming out today, people, is regarding Lucas Paqueta. This one just won't go away at the moment. Now, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed on his YouTube channel that Edu has made contact with Paqueta's agent now, and they've held official talks. Now, that doesn't mean that this deal is going to happen. What it does mean is that Arsenal are negotiating a potential transfer for Paqueta. So it's interesting on this one. You know, we spoke yesterday about Youri Tielemans. Obviously, it looks as if Arsenal are trying to get a midfielder into the club. Now, sometimes, you know, you may have a deal wrapped up for one player and then another deal comes up for someone else and you put that one on hold. So we spoke about Tielemans yesterday, but would Edu rather go for Paqueta? Would Arteta rather get Paqueta? He is left-footed. Maybe he can play in that Granit Xhaka role, that kind of number 8 role. He's very skillful, very creative, had a good season. Now, there's reports now that Lyon are willing to accept an offer of around 40 million euros for him. I've got to be honest, that seems a little bit cheap for him, just because of how the Lyon chairman is notoriously difficult to deal with, and Paqueta is certainly one of Lyon's better players. The problem is, Lyon have no European football this season. Paqueta wants out because of the World Cup. You know, these Brazilian boys are desperate to play for their country in Qatar, and playing out of European football altogether is not going to be a good thing for them. No Europa League, no Champions League. So Paqueta, the question I want to kind of ask people, if you could get Paqueta and you could get Youri Tielemans, who would you rather go for? Tielemans, Premier League proven, 1 year left on his contract, would probably be a little bit cheaper. Paqueta, bit more flair, bit more skill. Don't know how he would necessarily adjust to the Premier League, and he does play a little bit further advanced than Tielemans, I would say, but he is younger and he is left-footed, and that may suit Mikel Arteta a little bit more. So we'll have to see. I want you to let me know in the comments, if you could get a deal done for Paqueta, would you rather go for him or would you rather go for Youri Tielemans? Let me know in the comments on that one, people. We do know that we did complete a transfer yesterday, and that was Alexander Zinchenko. We did a video welcoming to the club yesterday, if you want to check that out. Obviously, like we said, 30 million plus 2 million in add-ons. He did his initiation song last night, and it wasn't the best, people. It is there on social media if you want to check that out. We certainly didn't sign him for his singing skills, but hey, that doesn't really matter, to be fair. Listen, he was quite emotional during the conversation with Mikel Arteta. He said it's a lifetime dream. All these pictures have come to social media of him wearing Arsenal kits when he was, like, you know, a little kid. He said that Thierry Henry overall was his favourite Arsenal player, but he loved Cesc Fabregas. So I think it always means a little bit more to the fans when we sign a player and we know that he cares deeply about the football club, you know. So Zinchenko is through the door. What position is he going to play in? You know, a discussion we've had many times, and I'm beginning to think, as I've said before, I think he'll start the season at left back if Tierney's not fit. But I do think long term he wants to play in midfield. There's just no doubt about that, you know. He plays midfield for his country. He was a midfielder when Manchester City signed him. Pep converted him to a left back. I just think a creative midfielder will always want to go back to playing in midfield, you know, even if he's done well at fullback. He may end up playing more games at left back for Arsenal, just purely based on the fact that Tierney is injury prone, more than the fact that that's the position he actually wants to play. Now, obviously, if Arsenal were to sign Paqueta or sign Tielemans, then we'd be having a different conversation, because how does he get in that midfield ahead of them? But it'd be interesting to see. I hope he features tonight. He trained with Arsenal yesterday, and, you know, everything fine. Apparently he's been training at Man City, obviously. They're over here in America as well. I don't see any reason why Zinchenko shouldn't play for Arsenal tonight against Chelsea. So we'll see how that one goes, people. Something else that's very important for Arsenal now at the moment. I know it's not the most exciting and glamorous for fans, but it's about tying down the players that we already have. Reports coming out over here in the States that William Saliba has agreed a new contract, 4-year deal. They're saying it's been verbally agreed, the contract's being drawn up. Now, they haven't revealed many details about it, but they're saying William Saliba has agreed a new 4-year contract at Arsenal. A couple of weeks ago, we saw the pictures of his agent at the ground. Saliba's videographer, who is the same one that Karim Benzema uses, and we see Benzema's videos always look like movies. He was at the Arsenal training ground. It was believed they were recording a new contract video. So Saliba, who's been very impressive over here on tour and throughout pre-season, to be honest, looks as if he's set to sign a new contract. And listen, I'm going to be a little bit open and honest here, people. I've been very critical of the way Mikel Arteta has handled William Saliba since he's been the manager. I felt when he kept him at the club for 6 months, didn't use him, and then loaned him out in January, I felt that situation should have been handled better. But to his credit, last season, even though I felt we could have done with Saliba, he's gone to Marseille, he's played over 40 games, he's won Young Player of the Year in France, he's in the French squad. Listen, it looks like he did very well last season, so something I haven't done too often. I'm going to give some credit to Mikel Arteta, because I don't think Saliba would be where he is right now if he stayed at Arsenal last season, because I just don't think he would have got the relevant game time. Now, you could say, on the flip side though, maybe he didn't need to buy Ben White for 50 million and he could have played Saliba last season. But that's a whole different discussion. We are where we are. He certainly developed playing for Marseille, and I think we've now got a top quality centre-back on our hands, and we've got real good competition in there with White, Saliba and Gabriel. So looking forward to seeing them play tonight as well. To be honest, with Saliba, this is going to be his toughest test tonight, playing against Chelsea, Havertz, Sterling and Ziyech and Pulisic and all them in the attack. So yeah, we'll see how Saliba gets on tonight. Now, the other contract is Bukayo Saka, Player of the Year, 2 years in a row. Seems to be the star boy of the football club now. I've got to be honest, over here in America, when I've spoken to people about Arsenal, one of the first names they seem to mention is Saka. Saka came on the other night against Orlando. He got the biggest reception of any player. So I believe he's viewed as the poster boy, the star boy now worldwide for Arsenal. And it looks as if he could be coming close to an agreement with Arsenal on a new deal. Now, Saka, unbelievably, only earns around £40,000 a week. Obviously, since coming out of the youth team, he got one big deal. He would have only been on a few £1,000s a week. They then offered him this 40-odd grand a week deal. And now, obviously, it's time for him to cash in now. And it's believed that Arsenal are willing to give him around £140,000 a week on this new contract. Now, if I'm his agent, I'm going to be honest, I'm saying, yo, you've just give Eddie 100 bags a week. I think he's worth more than that, you know, just as an agent's point of view. But I've got to be honest, you know, it's a big pay rise, and you've got to be careful not to give him too much too quick. If you start matching him up at 200 grand with Partey and Jesus, all of a sudden it can lead to problems. So I think 140 grand a week for him is still a significant pay rise anyway. And listen, let's hope that deal gets signed. It's believed he's going to be offered a new 5-year contract on 140 grand a week. His agent is still speaking to the club. Maybe he's saying Saka needs a little bit more than that. But we definitely have to tie him down, because Salah's in his 30s. Mahrez is in his 30s over there at Man City as well. On that right wing, you can see a situation where if Arsenal don't handle this situation, City or Liverpool come knocking, and we can't have that. And if he hasn't got a lot of time left on his deal, then they can get him for cheap. So it's vital that we get Bukayo Saka tied down to a new contract. Final bit of transfer news, people. Nuno Tavares looks to be heading out of Arsenal Football Club. It was looking like he was going to go to Brighton on loan, but it looks as if Atalanta have stolen the march. Atalanta's coach, not their manager, their coach, has worked with Nuno Tavares over there in Portugal, and obviously he must be recommending him. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed Atalanta are close to taking Nuno Tavares on loan with no option to buy, so that's interesting. Obviously Arsenal must see potentially a future for Nuno Tavares if he can go and develop. And to be honest, Serie A, Italy is one of the best leagues in terms of defenders and defending. So maybe, you know, Nuno Tavares improves his defensive capabilities over there in Italy next season. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But that one looks as if it's drawing closer. Loan with no option to buy. People, I'm going to round up the video there. It is absolutely boiling hot today over here in Orlando. It will be interesting what effect that has on the game. Any Arsenal fans that are here already or arriving here today, trust me, it is so humid and so hot, but you know, it's enjoyable. We can't complain, people. So listen, it's been an absolutely brilliant trip. I'm going to put out loads of content today. I'm putting out loads of like clips and short stories out on social media, so follow me at Curtis Shaw 9 with the number 9 on the end, not written, just Curtis Shaw with the 9 at the end. Follow me on socials, Twitter and the gram, for all the short stories. And obviously I'll have loads of content coming out on here. Keep it locked. Arsenal against Chelsea tonight. Hopefully we get the win, get a psychological advantage going into the season. Looking forward to the game. Lots of content coming out. Keep it locked. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Shaw on tour, C-Unit Business. Hopefully we link up today. There's a fan park down here at the stadium. We're all going to be down there today, and I'll be back later on. Take care, everyone. Bless.